What's good, fam? It's your boy Mike with my boy Jorge. I know it's been a minute, but you are back hanging with the boys.
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys have probably missed us. I've been on the road a lot.
Yeah.
Jorge has probably been on the road a lot. He's probably been drinking the whole time, so
Dude,
we had to take a break for a little bit.
Been getting death threats and stuff. They're like, where's the pod? And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude.
By that, it was just me. I just texted the Du Bois freaking
People were like,
Instagram.
hey, is Mike alive? And
Dude.
I'm like, hey, as far as I know, he's live and kicking. I don't know where he's at.
Couple mornings I woke up and didn't know if I was going to survive.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to wake up dead, dude.
No, it's actually cool. People did hit me up and were asking where the show was.
Yeah.
So that actually makes me feel good because it's kind of like a routine that people have now.
Yeah, they're all bummed out.
Yeah.
Can't hear these beautiful voices.
Yeah, it's true.
Before we get too deep,
Let's do it.
we need our morning coffee. I'm going label backwards till they start giving us cash for this damn thing. Delicious. Whoa. Good?
Yeah, very minty.
Yeah,
Good.
super minty. Yeah, sorry about the delay. It's like I always say, my life's one of those things where I'll have nothing for 2 months and then everything piles up in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just on the road a bunch.
Well, before we get into what you were doing, 'cause
Okay.
I'm sure it's some good stuff.
I mean, it's just beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people like beer.
I love beer.
But I want to say thanks to everyone tuning in. We are back, and I want everyone over on Apple Podcasts to go over and give us a like, give us a rating, leave a comment like this person, JAA7
Yep. Sounds like Nevada. Nice.
JAB7775. Love the show. Miss you guys. Let me know if you ever need a guest.
Yeah.
JAB775. We miss you too. Have no clue who it is.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like one of the themes. Like everyone always hits me up and they're like, hey, if you ever need anyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Yeah. So JAB775, thanks for leaving a rating, 5-star rating over on Apple Podcasts. Let us know who you are, and then we'll see. We'll have you on the show.
Make sure you're not like a killer or something, dude. Come to our house and just slash.
They said they miss us, so
yeah,
someone we ran into in the past for sure. So we missed you too. But make sure you go over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating with a comment, and we'll read it on the show. We really do appreciate all the feedback. And with that said, let's get into some RIPs.
Okay.
Kind of sucks.
Oh no.
But dude, my boy Angus Cloud.
Don't know who that is.
All right, so
sounds like a steak.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird name. 25 years old. He's one of the main guys over on that show Euphoria.
Don't know what that is.
You don't know that show on HBO?
Dude, I watched Breaking Bad. That's it.
So good, but it's really, I mean, it's like a lot of it's like high school
musical.
No, high school like
theatrical.
They're in high school, right?
Oh, okay.
But obviously, like the girls that play the high school girls are like overage.
Yeah,
you know, titties out everywhere. Like the director's very.
That's how you go to jail, dude.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But you ever heard of that Sweeney chick?
Sweeney.
Sweeney. I don't know her name, but she's in it.
Sweeney Todd?
Nah, that's a good movie though. Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's basically about high school kids and just doing a bunch of drugs and just banging it out all the time.
Very promotional.
Yeah, it's kind of gnarly show.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad because like the main chick is the Zendaya.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard of her. And she's just like this big old drug addict. And it's like weird how like you're a drug addict. A lot of stuff happens to you. You know it, but then you can't stop.
Okay.
You still do it. And you're in high school. And it's sad because I'm saying like there's kids like this in real life.
Yeah.
You know, the story came from somewhere probably.
Yeah, dude.
So, you know, it's kind of sad. But anyways, Angus is kind of her drug dealer.
Okay.
And this guy that just kind of, I think he was like skateboarding by a restaurant and like a director saw him. They're like, hey, we like your look. Come audition.
Weird.
And they put him on the show and he was supposed to only have like 1 or 2 episodes and then they were going to kill him. And he turned out to be like really good and everyone's favorite. So they kept him. And
now he's dead.
Yeah. And he died. You know, like the story is that I guess his pops died a few weeks ago. And so they buried him and he's been having a hard time. So either, you know, he Kurt Cobain himself or he was just kind of into that lifestyle where like drugs and the fentanyl, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. So RIP to him. And then also Pee Wee Herman.
Dude, I saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Paul Reubens.
Paul Reubens. Yeah.
Dang it.
So he
I
died.
was just watching Blow last night in
Yeah.
respect of him. I don't do the stuff. It was just a movie I'm watching, so no one yell at me.
You like that movie?
I love it. You know what I was talking about though is like the soundtracks. Right, like Forrest Gump has a killer soundtrack, dude. Like Blow has like one of the best soundtracks. Like every time they come into a spot, like
Wait, Forrest Gump has a killer?
yeah, dude.
Well, I know it has someone like the War
Skinner,
type.
like yeah, the war stuff, dude. One of the best soundtracks in movie history.
Interesting.
So you don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
No, well, I mean, not when I'm watching like Forrest Gump.
I have a creative ear.
Like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
I think is one of the best soundtracks.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's all techno.
You haven't even watched.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. But speaking of, Paul Reubens there, the difference in shit, this guy, hopefully he didn't like off himself. If he did, you're a bitch. But on the other side, we got Paul Reubens, and he's battling cancer like quietly, like a man.
Yeah.
Like they didn't put it out there. I think another guy just did that too, where they got cancer and they don't like tell anyone. They just whatever, and then they end up dying, and you're like, oh shit, surprise. But no, he's been battling it for a while, and finally it took over and he passed away. So, but just the difference in like, I bet you he's laying there like, man, this sucks. I want to live. Like 70 years old. I still got another 10, 20 years maybe in me. And this other dude, 25 years old. And he's like,
just throws in the towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
life's
just
weird,
sucks.
man.
Yeah. Don't do that shit and live life to your fullest.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. And speaking of that, let's get into that.
No, you don't want to. Where do I start? I can't even remember where it started actually. It was pretty cool. Got to go to the SAC Fair, which I used to jump at a lot, like which I saw you were at as well.
Yeah, I was out there.
Got to catch up with Derek, Dustin Cantrell, and Jesse Jolson, Jay Rod, who runs the thing. And man, it's crazy, like, because they're on an airbag now. Like this venue is shit, right? Like it's like chip sealed cement, and like you jump over 600 times in like 2.5 weeks. Yeah. They're there for 17 days straight. It's 100 degrees. And I was telling Bubs went with me actually. And I was like, dude, I like have PTSD like walking into this venue because I did it for like 3 years, and what I mean by that is not like watching my boys jump, but like that. I remember every single day riding and, like freestyle motocross, like I never plan on crashing, but you never know if like your foot slips off. Right. And you just do like on dirt, you'd high side and lose some skin on an elbow. Yeah. But like on that, like that rough concrete, and dude, it's just like a
cheese grater.
Yeah, like your skin would be so shredded. So I like walked into it and like I was sweating, and I'm like, God, these. And we saw them on like day 6, of 17, so they were already burnt on it, But
and it was a super heat wave.
It was hot, dude. Yeah. It was so hot. Yeah, it was 108 when I was there. I don't know I think you were there the day before me, or
I was there like 2 days before you for 3 days. And I stayed like in the AC, went to the mall, got some shoes, stuff like that. And then when we went out and watched them, it was like almost like nighttime already. Yeah. So it wasn't too bad. But yeah, dude.
It's hot.
It was gnarly.
Yeah. So just it brought back like tons of flashbacks, of like walking, because it's 3 shows a day, every day, 17 days, like I said. And just the walk, from like the rig back down into the thing, and then signing the autographs and walking back 3 times a day. I'm like, God, I don't miss that kind of stuff. It is cool. Like, when you make people's day, obviously, like when you're riding the show and like I would do a holy grab and you just hear everyone yelling and then you're signing on. That's awesome. But dude, 17 days in a row, you're just like, damn, dude, it's a lot and it's scary, So anyways, enough about that. It was cool watching them, catching up with them. I don't, Derek's from New Jersey, so it's like you don't see him every day, It's
dude, I was actually going there already because my wife has a training for her job. She was already there. And the day before I was gonna leave, I see Derek's there, and I'm all, dude, I'll see you there. So it's just like that kind of stuff is so cool, and especially like you just said, like seeing someone from across the state,
that we're super close
or
with.
the world, whatever, and you're just happen to be there. You're like, oh, this is awesome. So I did get to see him and stuff. But quick question: how long do you think that airbag lasts? Because I was looking at like like clips that they were posting. I'm all, dude, that thing looks hurting. Yeah. For one, 3 times a day jumping on it for 17 days straight, and then also in that like 100+ heat. Right. I was like, dude, that thing's gonna not be good. So
I mean, thank God it seems like it lasted the whole time. And I don't know how often they would replace like nitro, on tour or something. I don't know. I've never jumped one, so I don't understand them. But yeah, like Derek actually told me when I was at his house a couple months ago that he's crashed more on airbags because of stupid shit, right? Not his riding. Like it'll catch, like I think it caught Twitch's shifter once and popped him into neutral. Yeah. Because it kind of like like hovers around you.
Yeah, like sucks you in.
Yeah, so it hit neutral, dude. It high sided him right onto the cement, and then Derek said like I think one time like someone started letting the air out of it early because I think they had to transfer like monster trucks or something were right after him, so they would like pull the pin on it, or vents or whatever. And Derek I think did a flip, and when he landed, there was like no landing. He just went straight to the like flats, So I mean, you add that with how I was talking about like the terrain and that thing. It's pretty scary, dude. It was like stressing me out, but the boys know what they're doing. They're not out there like trying to win an X Games or do some kind of not like, which I did too. You get through with like very like just your tricks you're comfortable with. So I wasn't stressed for the boys. It's more just that like freak accident or something that happens. But yeah, I watched 2 shows of theirs, had a couple cold beers because it was hot, and then went from there to Lodi to hang with Vince Blair because we were doing some gecko stuff, which gecko's our grip spray for golf that we came out with. And it was just a fun thing. It's not like we were working. It was like content for Instagram and stuff. So we golfed for 2 days, but it was like our tee time was at 1 and it was still that heat wave.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I was looking at your guys' clip and I was like, I wonder if it's hot there.
Yeah. As Rush would say, I was like Patrick Ewing in the 4th quarter, dude. I was like my clothes were soaked, dude. Like couldn't even get my glove on in between shots, but we had, and dude, I ripped beers and started getting like that dehydrated headache because I'm not that smart. Yeah. I know it's hot out, but no, it was cool.
What course you guys play?
It was called Brookside in Woodbridge, I believe. Brookside's awesome. I think it's like a private course.
Oh, okay.
And we were kind of like the only ones out there because it was hot. So we kind of had the course to ourselves, which helped because we had a drone. We had like an actual filmer out there, so we're not just iPhoning. Because the thing with all of us that we've learned is like we're super ADD. Like Vince will come all the way up here and he's like, okay, I want to get this shot. You holding the bottle, whatever. I'm like, yeah. And then we start golfing and ripping beers. 18's done. We're all, what the dude? We didn't even we got 2 freaking iPhone clips. So
yeah, that's why I say like even like when I go out with you or like thinking about it, I'm like, all right, so I'm either gonna go play or take my camera shit. Right. It's not both.
Yeah,
it's
too hard. Yeah,
it has to be one or the other.
Yeah. So we finally smartened up and hired a filmer. Yeah. So that was cool. We got like some actual like high quality, good shots, not just phone shots. So, and then it was fun at night. We'd have beers and we make Vince every time we're drunk. We make him play main event stuff. So he's sitting there in his underwear, dude, just shredding. I'm like, dude, play this. And he has to like relearn it. Yeah. Like I'm talking like the old stuff, not like even the hiatus album. Yeah. He played Neverland when he was here, but it was like My World and all that kind of stuff. And showed us some new stuff he's been working on. Cause we do want to, like Daniel's actually like all gung ho on making some new songs. No touring, no shows, nothing. Just like we can all get together and, make like a little EP or something. Yeah. So Vince was kind of showing us some of that stuff. And golfed again, came home, and then I was home for like 2 days and went straight to the drag races in Sonoma. And that was fun as hell, dude. Those guys are so gnarly. Yeah. No, it wasn't bad. Okay. Sonoma's more of like that, granted it wasn't the heat wave either, but it's more like the kind of coastal air. Like it's sometimes you wake up and it's kind of like marine layer, like foggy in the mornings. We just got annihilated, dude. But we all kept it on 2 wheels. Like that's even little Travie was on 2 wheels. So watched our friends Alexis DeJoria and DeJoria. Dude, I tried to get all French right there. Did you hear that? JR Todd, got to watch them. Todd actually won. We've never been to a race where one of them have won, so that was bitching, Okay. But dude, he did all his PR stuff and then just dropped Trav off the camper and left. We're all, what the dude? Let's celebrate, So like we ended up celebrating for him though. We got so wasted. And then I got home Monday. Well, me and Lash drank beers on the way home Monday because we were kind of not feeling well. And then Monday night, me and Foster just sat on the couch and talked about the weekend and stuff and got annihilated, dude. And Tuesday was rough. Yeah. And then yesterday I actually worked, and today here we are. I feel great. Dude, as you can tell, I'm talking a ton.
Yeah, see?
Juiced.
That's what happens when you podcast.
Yeah, well, I got stuff to talk about, dude. Sometimes I'm like when it was snowing, I'm like, yeah, I sat in my house. Yeah. Did nothing.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. And, just I think the older I get, I try and value like hanging out with my friends a little more. So, like seeing Derek and Seth, because we weren't supposed to do that. We were just going to go to Lodi and do the filming. But I was like, dude, Derek's right
happens
here.
To be there. Yeah,
and he's 25, like it was 25-minute, 30-minute drive back to Vince's house. So, and then, seeing everyone at the, dude, like, some of our like friends that I grew up with in school were at the drag race. So we'd meet up, have a beer, and it's just fun, dude. It's hard to pass up on fun. Yeah. I love golfing here all the time, but like when you can kind of do stuff like that, it's definitely a little more fun.
Yeah, dude, Vince is funny. I think it was like Monday night, and I wrote Derek and I said, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow or something like that. And then Vince is like, dude, when are you coming in? I'm like, tomorrow, like where it says. He's like, I'll be there Monday. And I'm like, today is Monday, dude. Yeah. So saying like the following week, I'm like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Dude, where do we start?
So I never saw him.
Yeah. Where do we start with that boy? Man, he's a nut.
This weekend I went over to Portola, Quincy area. Actually, it was Quincy with Adam Jones, and we did his show, the FMX Rampage. That was pretty cool. Remember I said I wanted to be a DJ, so I'm kind of living that out through this show. So helping, set up.
What was your name again?
Django.
Yeah.
Django.
Chango, or whatever.
Yeah, DJ Ango.
Did you say that on the mic when you were playing it?
I should though.
Got one headphone on. You're like, hey.
No, I don't have the DJ setup. We just have like a mixing board and like a laptop and stuff. So, as far as like actual show, this is the second show I've done with him that I've helped him.
Yeah.
And I think he's done other shows that weren't necessarily the concept that the FMX Rampage concept, which is like very interactive with the crowd. It's cool.
Yeah.
It was more just jump shows.
Yeah.
So, he don't really need me for setting up that and, whatever. So. Right. For his actual concept of a show, you actually need someone there and being able to do the levels and music and all that stuff. So, kind of living out what I said I wanted to do, being a DJ and stuff. So, but it was pretty fun. I didn't know Quincy and Portola were just nothing.
Yeah,
because you hear about those towns in that area, like Northern California over there, and those are the towns you hear about. Right. So you're like, oh, okay, they're probably pretty decent. Dude, not even a fast food restaurant. No. I golf outside of Portola every once in a while. And I'll drive through there and I'm like, dude, kind of my style though, dude. It was so gnarly. Get some property up there, just golf all the time and be sick. I did see a golf course driving up there. Yeah. But the crowd was actually really good. Cool. The people were pumped and the show went really well. What was it for? Did they have like something? It was for their fair. Oh, okay. The fair. I don't know what. County fair. Did you go with us to Quincy that one time I jumped in or maybe Portola when we jumped in Main Street? Oh yeah. I thought you went with us like 07 or something, but it was sick. Yeah. They set us up right on their main street and there was something like a fair or something going on. Dude, and there was actually like a ton of people there. Like you said, for nothing. But when you have those kind of towns with nothing in it, sometimes when something comes or it's their time, there are a lot of people show up. Well, we went basically from Sac Fair with the kids. Yeah. And I mean so we went actually as parents this time and not just to go watch my friends ride their bikes and stuff. Yeah. So, we did everything. Yeah. We went to all the rides, ate food and, all that kind of stuff. So we were two days there. It was pretty gnarly. And then we go to this one. I'm like, it should be pretty decent. It's the Plumas County Fair or whatever. Dude, it was like your whole land here. As big as the fair was. I'm like, damn, this sucks. And then I'm like, dude, I'm hoping people show up. And then, we're all set up and I'm putting the music on 30 minutes before a show and I'm looking at the stands. I'm like, dude, this sucks. Probably 5 minutes before the show started, it got packed. Everyone just swamped in. Yeah, and then everyone's just yelling. There's a segment on there where the timer starts at 10 seconds and he's like, let me know when it's 10 seconds or we're going to go off because we know it's like that. And the show before we've done, no one really did anything. Yeah. And then this one, everyone's like 10, 9. It was super loud. Oh, so cool. It was cool. It was a good show. So I'm pumped. I'm doing that kind of stuff with Adam, helping him out and stuff. So it's always a good thing. But yeah, that was kind of what I did this past weekend. You just reminded me, how sometimes you forget your dreams and then you remember them. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on, dude, but I keep having dreams about riding dirt bikes. Mm-hmm. And I'm bringing Adam into this. You should probably get one. No. So last night I'm sleeping all good, and it's the same dream every time. So me and Miller get invited to X Games. Uh-huh. And I know in real life I haven't touched a bike in 4 or 5 years, Yeah. So I'm like, damn, dude, okay. And we show up and it's all ramp to ramp on cement. And it's the dude's yeah, so this is a European ramp and this is an American ramp and this is that. And then we have the 120 footer and it's all mobile landings. Uh-huh. And dude, me and Miller are sitting there shitting our pants. We're dude, this is scary. I haven't even started a bike in 4 years, because we don't practice going into it. And Adam's trying to talk us through it. He's dude, it's how they say, you never it's just riding a bike. Bicycle. Yeah. And we're dude, we're going to OJ. Cause for some reason, in your dream, everything's exaggerated. It's the mobile landings were they weren't nice, airbagged. They were the old school, just peaked ones. Dude. And I was I actually woke up a little stressed. Yeah. And 2 weeks ago, I had a dream that Nitro called me and they had
65 shows. And I'm like, well, shit, I can't pass that up.
Yeah.
So instead of buying a bike and practicing, I just showed up to Nitro, and I have like my old Honda 450. It's the same bike every time. And I'm sitting there, dude, and they're like, yeah, 30 minutes till the show. And I'm like stressed. I'm like, dude, I have not hit a ramp. I don't even know if I'm going to do my tricks in the show. You know what I mean? So it's funny how I keep having those, dude. And freaking scares me.
Dude, the one I've kind of been having, I show up at the track ready to race, and I'm like, and I'll forget like my gear. And I'm like,
oh, yeah, I've done that.
Or
Definitely.
like, I didn't bring my gas can and there's no gas in the bike, so I don't get to race. Dude, what? It pisses me off so bad. I'm like, dude, that's so stupid.
Dude, it must be how dumb my brain is, but mine like that is always like I show up and like the event's going. Like X Games intro will be going, and I'm trying to put like my knee pads on and it won't like go on. And I'm like, dude, I have to be dressed right now. And dude, I can't get like my boot on. I'm like all stressed out.
Dude, dreams are stupid.
They're so dumb. And it's like, where do they come from? Because on a day-to-day basis, like I don't sit there and think like, man, I wish I could ride X Games.
Yeah.
Or man, you know, I didn't even watch X Games this year. Like we didn't even know what was going on until I saw like Tyler Berriman's post, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to ride Nitro Circus no more. But then in my dreams, it's like I'm like not passing up on the opportunity. And I'm like, that's so like how. But I also rode for 30 years, so you're gonna have some like flashback stuff, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But I just wish like one time I would practice before I went to the show. That'd be nice. You know,
it'd be cool to just like go and have your dream. Like for me, like go and actually like ride the race and win it or something and be pumped.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, that was cool.
Dude, I'm sick.
You know, you go and do your comeback tour and you do good. That'd be awesome. But like our heads are just so dumb.
So dumb, dude. And why was there a 120-foot ramp in there? That thing hasn't been in X Games for like 15 years. Yeah. Dude, you should have seen how big it looked. I'm like, I'm not hitting that.
Yeah.
And I remember in my dream telling Miller, I'm like, I think I might just hit the same ramp over and over and do my regular. I'm not going to win anyways. But dude, I had like my dreams are vivid, dude. Like, I see everything. And it's like, I'm really there. Like I said, I woke up and I was like, whoa, I'm kind of stressed out.
Yeah. Do you ever, I forget what those maybe called lucid dreams. Shout out to Juice World.
Yeah.
R.I.P. But,
why?
He had that song Lucid Dreams.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the?
I think it's a banger.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, you're dreaming. You have those?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have those sometimes and I'm like, dude, I know I'm dreaming. Like, why can't I like,
have you ever had the one where you like hold your breath and you're not breathing and you're like, dude, I know this is a dream. Just take a breath. And I'll wake up like gasping for air.
That's called sleep apnea.
Yeah. I got it bad.
I had surgery.
Yeah. Not me.
Remember that?
Yeah. I need to get that mask.
Nah, you don't want that. You want surgery instead. That shit was gnarly though.
Yeah, dude. You didn't sound good for a while after that. But yeah, so I mean, dude. And then I've told you I've had the reoccurring dreams, like where Tupac stabbed me one time. Dude, I think I'm like kind of twisted in the mind because he stabbed me and I was laying there bleeding out. And I'm like, dude, you're fine. Just let it go and you'll pass away. And then like the next, like, dude, I'm talking years later, he's in the same like front yard. And I'm like, last time I did something to piss him off, dude. And I can hear his voice like perfect. And he comes chasing after me again. I'm like, Jesus.
Dude, what's your beef with Tupac?
Nothing. I like him, dude. Jeez. He doesn't like me. And it's always in a freaking ghetto front yard that he's chasing me.
You see, they raided a house in Vegas in Henderson and they found bullets of this guy. They already like kind of put him as maybe a suspect back in the day of killing Tupac, but they found some bullets that probably matched.
Yeah, they had to clog the news cycle up.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. Like him and Biggie were like two of the most like influential icons, and they just get shot in LA and Vegas.
Yeah,
and there's not one suspect or nothing.
Yeah, like I said when that came out, I'm like, dude, they know who did it.
Suge Knight or something. Suge Knight or Diddy, dude. One of them had the freaking.
Well, Diddy was supposedly the one that hired this dude.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So. And then I saw a thing where, God, who is it? Someone's son. Damn it, I can't remember, but someone's son, like a producer's son or something, said Tupac's like still alive, and that's how he keeps coming out with new CDs or new albums all the time and stuff. And
dude, it's so funny you say that because I actually listened to a podcast yesterday, and the guy was asking, it was Theo Von actually, he was asking YG the rapper, he's like, you ever met anyone like famous? Which is like, dude, one of the biggest rappers there is. Of course he's met, you know.
Yeah.
Theo, sometimes I wonder about him.
Yeah.
But anyways, this cool clip came out of it, so. You know, good on you. So he's like, yeah, you know, I met Tupac's mom before she died. And then he's talking about how he did a presentation or a speech and, you know, talked about Pac and how he was an influence, blah, blah, blah. And then she came backstage and she's like, hey, that was so beautiful, blah, 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 you know, all this shit. And then she was like, kind of broke down and started crying. And she was like, man, they took my baby, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, shit. And he's like, dude, it fucked me up so bad because I thought Tupac was alive still.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying. He's like, but like seeing her crying and telling me like, man, like in pain, being like, they took my baby, like they really did do that.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. He's like, fuck, he's really dead.
He might be actually. I think he's dead.
Yeah, I think he's dead. But you know, it's so funny you say that because some people do think that, and YG kind of thought that too. Like, Tupac, you know, that he just faked his death and he's somewhere else or whatever. But then seeing them, and this was like 2015, he said,
right,
2015, 16. So he's like, dude, it fucked me up because I was like, I thought he was alive still, and then his mom's just sitting there crying, telling me, you know, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah, what a trip, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously some stuff's going on where they're, you know, they got to pull up the Tupac card.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they bring the UFO. You know, we talked about the UFO guy. So they bring the UFO guy again up in Congress this time. And that was a big story.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's gnarly? Like, I don't know where I stand on the UFO thing, right? I think it's like we just said, like a storyline.
Yeah.
But even if it's like when you watch Signs and the alien goes by that window. The other night I was on Instagram because they said a UFO was in Vegas and there was like a couple aliens spotted in Vegas in a residential area.
Yeah.
And some dude had like a Ring cam in his backyard, like a camera. Dude, and it showed two of them like digging through like his garden, like kind of like eating stuff. And like, dude, it kind of made me have a nightmare.
Really?
Yeah. Even if you don't believe it or not, it's like the way they look, dude. Like they're like that big around with like big old eyes and stuff.
Dude, it's so hard to believe stuff nowadays because
I don't believe anything, dude.
It's so easy. Like nowadays, even like footage.
Yeah.
You know, like there's those like dude perfect dudes or like the people that do like trick shots and they do shots that are like, yeah, right, dude. It's because I'm a video guy.
Yeah.
I could do that on green screen.
Right. Oh, dude. So like when I do get into my far right, like conspiracy stuff, I've like, they've said like everything you watch like from Hollywood is fake, right? I'm talking like real stuff, not, you know, Spider-Man or something. Yeah. But I've always thought that. I'm like, man, it's kind of weird. And so I actually talked to Bubs last night because have you ever noticed when you watch a documentary, they have like hours upon hours of old footage of them, no matter what, or they follow them like into like a high and low of their career.
Yeah.
And everyone's parents, you know, sons, daughters are like the most perfect speakers. Like if something happened to me and Netflix made a documentary and they put my dad on the set, he'd be like, oh, I don't want to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like us, like I've told Bubs, I've done a ton of camera work, but I would get like nervous. So we watched Anna Nicole Smith's one last night and they just have random like home video of her swimming in her pool, like who's filming it, you know, or whatever. And I know she's a celebrity, but this is like in the 90s, right? Like it's not an iPhone. So they have all this old footage and then like her dad's like super redneck or brother or something. He's like perfect speaker on camera, you know, like, and I'm like, dude, they hire these people, man. I don't know. That's just to tell a story. And then I watched the Mark Cavendish. I think he's a Tour de France rider. And he had like a super high career and then like a gnarly low point and then a high. And somehow for 15 years, they've followed this dude and made the perfect documentary. Yeah. You know, like they followed him and he won and he's celebrating and they have all this footage of him, like quality footage. And it's like, and then all of a sudden he goes low and they have him in the hospital and they have quality footage of him in the hospital and training back. And then he wins the Tour de France to end it. And that's the documentary. And I'm like I get real life stuff, right? Like when you watch like a McGregor one, you know, they're going to plan that. They got a year's worth of footage. They're going to follow him, like the quarterback one that came out on Netflix. I get that. But it's like when you've just randomly had like HD quality footage for like 15 years of this dude's career or this chick's life, I'm like, dude, this shit's all fake, dude. Yeah. I mean, I still watch it. I like it.
It's good stuff. You know, you learn a little about their story. But yeah, I think a lot of stuff's just like fake nowadays. Yeah. And just going back to that alien thing, like they're speaking in Congress and they're asking questions and, you know, they're out there, they're the whistleblowers or whatever. But then they ask them certain questions and the guy's like, yeah, I can't answer that, but I could tell you like off camera, basically. Yeah. So what the fuck are you there for?
Why are you there? Yeah, that's the whole point of you being in there.
You're a whistleblower. You're basically like kind of breaking the law, or not breaking the law, but like putting yourself in harm's way by going out there and exposing this shit that supposedly the government doesn't want to expose. But then they ask you a certain question that you should just be like, yes. Yeah. Or I've seen him or whatever. And he's like, nah, well, I could answer that off camera.
Yeah. It's not the point, dude.
Yeah. So this is just bullshit.
Yeah. So
it's just a cover up for something.
Yeah. Not to get into like politic government stuff, but that James Comey dude, he was like the FBI director that they said kind of had a lot to do with like the Trump Hillary deal and all this, whatever. Yeah. So he had to testify. It was like Zoom. It was during COVID. But he testifies, and every question they ask him, he's like, "Oh, I don't recall that." Every question, even if it's like just a basic one, not even like something within the government, dude. And then the son of a bitch comes out with a like 300-page book like 6 months later
about everything.
I'm like, so you can't recall nothing, but you just made a book and made $5 million off the book. I'm like, dude, you guys are a joke.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yet, if we still Kit Kat at freaking Rayleigh's, dude, we're getting handcuffed, detained. We have to go in front of a judge and tell everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
stupid.
So also during that whole span of, the time we were away on vacation, I call it, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but then also Mitch McConnell, right?
Yeah,
right,
locked up.
Yeah, he locked up on camera and just stood there and stuff. And I don't really care about that too much, but I know like a lot of people kind of talk about it, but it's probably not as much as we think or it should be.
Yeah.
But dude, these people are really old.
Yeah, and they're running our government.
Yeah, and it's like, when did that become a thing? Or I guess like when we were younger, we were probably like, yeah, these guys have life experience and they're older, blah, blah, blah. But now we're older and those people are still there too.
There's just no term limits, dude.
And it's like dude.
Pelosi. She's like a skeleton, just teeth hanging out of her lips basically. Yeah. And she was in freaking government for like 40 years. Biden's going on half a century.
Yeah.
It's like at some point these people get older. It's like
there has to be like maybe the age requirement for president can drop. I forget what it is, like 34, 40.
You have to be that old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the actual age to get into it, but
so maybe like drop that down by 10 years and then put an age restriction of like anything over 80, no more.
Right.
Like if you're 75, you're probably still killing it. You're probably still doing
mean, like if you can't walk up airplane stairs without crashing, you probably shouldn't be president. If you freeze up on a freaking podium, you shouldn't be freaking minority leader or whatever it is. Yeah, no, it's scary too, because it's like, I don't know, like back to our conspiracy stuff. It's like, I think they're just the freaking TV personality, dude. There's probably some higher up just making calls. You know what I mean?
But dude, at least make it look nice.
I
at
know.
least put some like younger people out there. And like, yes, I agree with like life experience and you've been in that job, that field for a long time. But after a while, your kind of mind kind of goes away too.
Yeah, dude. I'm 41. Look at me. I couldn't run this country.
Well, I mean, you do drink a lot.
Yeah, I do. Hey, I'm on like a lot of water this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, Tuesday through today, I've already done a ton of water.
Okay.
I'm surprised I haven't had to pee yet.
That's good.
Yeah. Dude, can I go back to the documentaries?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be proud of me.
I love documentaries.
Yeah. I watched the Jake Paul one. It just came out on Netflix. It's awesome, dude. Like, I'm not a fan of the dude. Like, I'm not a fan of like a lot of YouTubers that made a ton of money. Cause I'm like a blue collar dude, right? Like I even think I kind of got spoiled with career or whatever. But I'm like, man, these freaking nerds, cause they are nerds. Like they have like home video of them when they're kids and they're super nerdy.
Yeah.
But they made so much money, but I've never liked the dude, right? And I don't watch his fights. Like I'm not huge into it. The Diaz one has me intrigued a little bit. But dude, it's crazy. Like when you watch it, they like how good he is at business. Like the shit he says and does, like it's just straight up like WWE, you know?
Yeah.
But he is like, because they have like Mike Tyson in there and they're saying like he's made boxing tenfold again because boxing was like in the dumps, you know?
Especially compared to UFC.
Yeah. So like he's doing that. I'm like, well, shit, that's pretty cool. Like even, like it's not all an act because when they show him behind the scenes, he's still kind of a douchebag, but he's very good at playing the part, you know? And, towards the end, he's trying to, it was Tommy Fury, right? When he fought him, he's like going through, he has like this notebook with lists and stuff. And he's like, I want to find a fighter that can fight. Like that's a real fighter. Cause they were saying he kept fighting just old people that weren't fighters no more, So he like had these stipulations of like who to make the biggest fight he could make. So he picks a real fighter, a dude that's like socially like engaging, and I'm like, damn, dude, he's like everyone in that, like the Furies and everyone are like, dude, he's like one of the best like businessman promoter dudes you could have, and I'm like, kind of got to respect that.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't take his personality personal, which a lot of people do for some reason, like I guess in one of his first fights, the whole crowd was chanting like fuck Jake Paul and all this stuff. But if you don't take it personal and like just look at, it's way more than him just saying, I want to fight someone, pick me a fight. It's like, dude, he's like the promoter.
Yeah. Well, he is.
He works with like the old UFC dude or someone, they made that company.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, you kind of got to respect that. Like he has thought into this. You know what I mean? And that's pretty cool. So
yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna have to check that one out. I didn't know he had one.
it just came out. Yeah, like 4 or 5 days ago. And when I was hungover on the couch,
Oh, actually, I did see that. Yeah. Is there a part of something with like his dad?
Yeah.
How he treated him or something when he was a kid? Okay.
Yeah, so his dad was a piece of shit and slapped him around and stuff. And then his dad's gnarly.
Yeah.
When he gets on camera, you know, like he's an old school redneck for sure.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of Travis Pastrana's dad.
Yeah. Yeah, but like mean, like violent. Like I think TP's dad was just like push his kid off the bridge. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that one was super good. They got like the Johnny football one coming out. Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
See, I like stuff like that where it's like actually happening. Like the Anna Nicole Smith one was like cool to watch, but man, it's like, for one, her dude was 90 in a wheelchair. That kind of grossed me out. Yeah,
I'm surprised he wasn't in the Supreme Court or something, you know?
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, watch that thing if you get to see it. It's really good. And like I said, I actually hate to say it, but like respect the dude for the way he can handle, like how the shit he talk, because that's what the Fury, I can't remember the Fury dad's name.
I think it's the Fury dude's name too. The other guy.
Tyson?
Maybe,
yeah. But dude, he was like, at first, because they have him on set and he's talking shit. He's like, this guy probably gonna end up like with a broken neck, you know, fighting my son, this and that. But then at the end, he's like hugging him. He's like, dude, the amount of knowledge this dude has with promotion because what is he, 26 maybe?
Yeah.
You know, he's still young as hell. And it's like, dude, the amount of like knowledge this kid puts into like making these things. And I mean, dude, that Tommy Fury dude probably made more money than he's ever made in his life off one night of fighting, you know?
Well, that's the thing. Like when you kind of go into something with a shitload of money, you could throw money in. And I mean, not to discredit him, but like he gets this guy that ran UFC,
right,
teaching him everything. And, you know, so it's a little bit easier once you kind of just have all the money instead of just starting out.
Yeah.
So you kind of had like a little head start, you know, to get it. But on the douchebag part, I think it's good though, too, because you also got to think like Mayweather's was the biggest boxer ever and the best to do it. But you watched this fight because you either liked him or you wanted to see him lose. So a lot of people are buying Jake Paul's fight because they're like, dude, this is going to be the one where he loses.
And that's what he says that on there.
Yeah.
He's like, people are going to pay to watch me get knocked out. He's like, I'm all right with that. But he won all of them except for the
Tommy
Fury one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's what happens. So like, he's either going to sell tickets because people like him or he's going to sell tickets because people hate him.
Yeah.
So right there is just a win-win.
Yeah. And it, you know, like how I think, and I always think everything's staged, right?
Yeah.
Even if those fights are staged, like, you know, because it is pay-per-view and him and Tommy Fury, you know, you sell that many pay-per-views. It's like if Paul gets hit in the first round and knocked out, everyone's gonna be like, well, sick. We've done that with McGregor, right? Like you pay $60 and McGregor, they freaking touch gloves and McGregor knocks the dude out and you're all, that was anticlimactic, you know? So even if because the Fury one went to a decision and Fury wins, even if it is staged, those dudes still beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, that's a pretty like powerful brain to go like, okay, I got to go 6 rounds with this freaking world-class championship boxer. Probably gonna get the shit kicked out of me, but we're gonna make it to, you know, so, and I'm like, dude, that's freaking gnarly.
Well, Tommy's not. Tommy's kind of like an amateur.
I don't know what he is, but he freaking.
Yeah. But he's a big ass dude, huh?
Yeah, he's scary kind of.
Yeah, he has like orangutan arms. His arms are so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty gnarly.
And he just has that weird, like, crazy eyes look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was super cool. Watch that one, and
yeah,
never thought I'd give him credit. And what was I gonna say? You know, he made a lot of money off YouTube, and like I said, the first stuff he did when they show it is so stupid, dude.
Yeah,
it's so cheesy.
And I'm sure he goes back and watches that, and he's like, dude, I was so cringy.
Yeah, but his new stuff, because like I guess Dana White was like, you know, he's not a fucking boxer. He ain't winning nothing, dude. This and that, and then he's like, you know, he will not call out Anderson Silva ever. He'll never call out a fighter like that. And he's all, Jake, like calling him out, and fucking Jake makes the thing. He's like, Dana, and like does it, and then it shows Anderson.
Funny.
Yeah, and then he did a skit where he had this ripping chick, and he was like laying in a hospital. And he's like, oh, my back, it's broke. I'm so sick of carrying these fights and this and that. And then he gets up and dude. So like his shit now is pretty funny. Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna follow him still because whatever. But like just watching that, I was like kind of giggling a little bit.
Yeah, he's way better than his brother. His brother's kind of
I don't know how his brother's like the more popular one because he was kind of a nerd in the documentary.
Yeah, well, he does the WWE shit
now.
So,
yeah.
So scamming people, but let's talk it because you brought it up already. Just like people being like just cringy, nerdy, and they make it. So it's kind of like the whole thing I was talking about the government. Like when you shouldn't be in these high spots after 75 years old. I think. Like you're kind of losing it there. Your mind's not as sharp anymore. Yes, you have decades of knowledge and all this and all that, but you shouldn't be there no more, is my opinion. Yeah. You know, it's scary seeing people like that. Like, you're so old. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. So the same thing I think comes with like people without social skills. Mm-hmm. And it's worse now.
Dude, I'm right here.
No, you got social skills.
Oh, thank you.
It's worse now because of like the
phones
and like streamers. They literally sit there and talk to a computer screen and it's their chat. Yeah. And it's like, hey, chat. It's like, dude, that's not a real person. Yeah, it's people there talking to you, but at the same time, they're there for a reason. Yeah. They want to see something or whatever, you know, whatever it is. But point being, you should not be famous, or maybe just famous. Yeah. Successful is cool, whatever, when you're like that, because you kind of grow up to be not such a good person, or you do some weird shit. Yeah. My point being, your girl Lizzo, you know what that is? Yeah. The singer, big
huge black girl. Yeah.
So she's being sued by some of her ex-dancers for fat shaming, and then also for doing, not her, but making them do some sexual acts.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
disgusting.
It seems like they were in Amsterdam and they had some prostitutes and they had some bananas in their vaginis. Yeah. And she had them pull them out and eat the bananas and stuff. And it's like, well,
I mean, I'm not against partying.
I mean, that sounds like a good Thursday night. But it's like, well, what are you doing there if you don't want to be doing
exactly?
That? Yeah. And you don't have to do that.
No. I don't know.
But I know you're diving face first.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be in there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we got people skills.
We do.
Yeah. But then also the fat shaming, I think, you know, like you kind of look at it, you're like, dude, Lizzo, you're very big.
Yeah, you know, you're huge.
But at the same time, what I got from it was to be more like on her side. You know, like an NFL player, he can go off season, he comes back and your coach is like this 400-pound white dude or whatever, never been fit in his life. And he's like, dude, you're out of shape. Yeah. What the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah. Because that's your job. Yeah. You know, so it's the same thing with the Lizzo situation. I guess some of these dancers were like getting out of shape, or they weren't like, the stamina wasn't there and stuff like that. So she was like, hey, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. Which is understandable because you're paying this person to do a certain job that requires to be fit, look, right?
Yeah, and be fit.
Yeah. So that's understandable. But the sex stuff is kind of weird.
The banana in the tailpipe, dude. That's always a sketchy one.
And everyone, you know, a lot of people are coming out saying like how she's just a bitch or like all this. And it's like, well, yeah, she's socially awkward. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden now she's this huge pop star or whatever music she plays, and that's gonna come out eventually. Yeah. Like maybe at first you're like just so grateful that you made it, and you're like, oh, I can't believe this. And then after a while, once you're like secure, the money's coming in and everything, then all of a sudden you're just like kind of go back to like your normal self. Right. Your normal self is weird.
Yeah. Dude, everyone's weird these days, man. Yeah. It sucks. You know, and that's what, like, I've been traveling across the country and across the world since I was 11 or 12 years old. You know, we didn't have phones, obviously, I'm that old. But it's like, that helped me so much. That's what I always say, like, everyone's like, God, you got to go to school. You got to get your diploma. You got to get a degree, this and that. And it's like, but those people are weird, right? And like, I was fortunate enough to meet thousands of people when I was 13, 14, 15 years old. First time I drove across the country with just me and Cliffy was when I was 18, you know, with Miller and Biden when we were 17. And it's like, that teaches you so much. Oh yeah. Right. And now kids, like, even racing kids are like I was telling someone, you know, like like the last days of like me being in the locker room with like the Nitro riders, right? It's like so many kids are like just on their, like, you ride practice on your phone, ride the show on your phone, you know, and like, I get it. Cause like our Willie, you know, he's editing, like he's always on his computer. He films everything and makes his edits. Like I get that part of it, cause that is kind of like a job, but man, you see so many of these kids doing that, you know, and you're like, I'm like, I'll sit there and like, I got a beer and I'm all, good chat, boys, super fun, you know, and everyone's just like glued. And I'm like, dang, dude, you know, it's so much more fun. Like you've been over to Europe with me where it's like, everyone comes in, cause you're on a high, like, you know, it's so hard not to have adrenaline and stuff. Like after the shows, I'm way more amped because I think during the show, you almost feel tired when the show starts. I don't know. It's like weird how your body kind of takes over. And then it's like you're riding the show and you're just focused. But when you're done, dude, you're like, damn, I made it through. I'm safe. And like, dude, you're juiced. You know, we've been to the after parties, grabbing bottles of vodka and stuff, you know, and but now it's like, I don't know. I mean, dude, these kids have been touring for so long, but I just really feel that way. I can't remember, dude, but I told you a long time ago, I can't remember who the hell it was, but someone that had like 900,000 followers. You know, they were like a social media, like real influencer. And I'm like, I was going to be bitching, dude. And I meet the person and they're so awkward. I'll think of it soon, but like wouldn't look me in the eye when we were talking. Like I'm trying to engage and they're just kind of like standoffish. And it, like you said, they're used to sitting here with a camera and doing everything, where you kind of like go into your another world where like I'm more awkward. Like I've always told you, I can't talk to my phone. That's why I'm not like a social media guy, you know?
Yeah. That's the same as what I think too. And also I've always been behind the camera.
Yeah.
So it's like awkward for me to do it. But we grew up with friends. Yeah. Is the thing. Like
tons.
I think the biggest difference is like growing up with actual friends and not that there's something wrong with making friends like online or whatever, which is cool. Like you know, you see people that like started playing video games and they make a friend on Call of Duty and then all of a sudden 10 years go by and they're still friends with that person, which is cool. I've never done that. Yeah. But nothing wrong with that. But also there's nothing wrong with actually making physical friends, right? Going and doing stuff.
Go out and do stuff.
And that's how we grew up. So I feel like we're not awkward, you know, when we meet people, and kind of what you see is what you get. Like everyone that knows me, it's so funny because some people will hit me up sometimes on like Instagram or whatever, and they'll say something and I'll talk back to them and stuff. And then they're like, fuck, dude, you haven't changed. Like, wow, what? Yeah, why the hell would I change? I'm still the same fucking person that you probably met 10 years ago. Obviously, little things here. I grow up, you know, I have kids now and stuff like that. Little things change here and there. But for the most part, like my personality is my personality. Yeah. And, you know, we like grew up together and that's how you are. Yeah. But like these kids are growing up without that. Yeah. So they're like socially awkward. And then once they get in a position of power or like fame and stuff, their true colors come out and people are like surprised. They're like, dude, this guy's a piece of shit, or he's a weirdo. That's some weird stuff that they're doing or they are. Yeah. And it's like, how are you surprised? Like that's
what they were. Yeah. Yeah. Most dudes that like talk to their phone or a camera are nerds, or, you know, females are nerds. It's like, they're not going to be like very like engaging with you, you know? Dude, I always wonder like what a high school party's like now. Yeah. Like when, dude, remember like it was like chugging OE40s and freaking beer pong and this and that. And now it's like, I could see like having a high school party and everyone's just on their phones. Or they take one picture of the party for Instagram, you know?
It's dude, like, imagine having our phones when you were like a senior in high school, though.
Glad I didn't, dude.
Dude.
That we would have been in trouble, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably have to start OnlyFans.
Yeah, we probably would have created OnlyFans.
I would have had hair, so I was all confident. Freaking headbanging.
Speaking of hair, you posted that clip. That was funny.
Dude, I look so dumb.
Dude, you look weird.
God, yeah. I have one chin and full head of hair, dude. I'm like, what the hell?
Dude, like, speaking of that, you were speaking of being fake, dude. You were talking like perfect. I think it was CGI, AI.
No, I was nervous. now I don't care. I'm like, screw it, here we go. You know? Yeah. I know everyone's like, oh man, you were so like professional back then. I'm like, what do you mean back? What am I doing now? I need to take a look at myself. I think because a lot of people said that. I'm like, huh?
No, yeah, I played it. I'm all kind of on point, like almost like you were reading it.
Yeah, I was off the top of my head. Yeah. What's it called? Influenza? Improvise.
Yeah,
that was close. Yeah, I don't know. I was so afraid of like looking like a nerd back then, even though I looked like a nerd, that I just tried to like be very by the book. Yeah. I've given up. I'm 41, dude.
That's all right.
Yeah. This pod really brings out my true colors, like you were just saying. Everyone's like, dude, there's no way he's 41. Yeah. Immature as shit.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you get these weirdos, like I was saying, you know, this is something I've always been thinking about it, you know, like when I was doing the podcast earlier in the podcast years, you know, speaking on like gaming and gamers. And I was like, dude, these guys are just weird. There's like probably, you know, 3 or 4 dudes that I can think of that do streaming full time and everything. And I'm like, that dude is like me or Mace. Yeah. That guy's a normal dude. He just happens to be good at video games and super famous off of streaming. Yeah. But if he wasn't doing that, like I could see him coming over to the house and barbecuing and being like a normal dude. Right. Dude. Only a handful, dude. Everyone else, I'm like, you have some issues. Yeah. Like there's something going on with you.
Something wrong with you. And dude, that's the same like in my world with like golf. right? So there's all these huge like male golf influencers now.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is they're not very good at golf, and they've still kind of made money off of golf.
Yeah.
But like they'll be like, oh, dude, yeah, we tried to dust a beer hole, dude. We got to 17 and couldn't make it, this and that. And then it's like I've seen them at like a charity tournament, dude, and they're like, they sip on like a little vodka or something. And I'm like, it's not hard to like, I could tell you right now, we could do this podcast and we could cut it to where I said I did 25 beers on this podcast and I could dump everyone out.
Yeah.
I'm like, me and my friends have actually tried that. I got to hole 7 and puked.
Yeah.
Not from being drunk, but it's like, because on the first tee, we would shotgun a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Not just sip it down the hole, right? We
Yeah.
would shotgun a beer on the first tee or the tee box every time. And I got to 7, dude, and like fucking cold foam came out. It's hard, and I know there is some dudes that can do it, but it's usually the dudes that brag about it and like get a following off it or that are like, that's one thing.
It's all like show.
Yeah. I think that's one thing people understand with me is like when I go somewhere, like Coors Lights do get dusted.
Yeah.
I can't sit there and tell you I'll drink a handle. I don't do that stuff. But yeah, when I see people and they like show their card after a round, dude, and there's just cans and, a full bottle of whiskey in the back and little shot glass. I'm like, and you're talking just fine into your phone right now?
Yeah.
Like,
that's for aesthetics. It looks good.
Yeah.
We are what you call in our profession real men.
Very real, man.
Well, I don't drink, but
I guarantee you, if I'd like did a stream or a reel or something of a day at Sunridge, by the end of it, dude, you wouldn't even understand what I'm saying. Because we
should do that.
I know. I mean, we could.
Yeah.
It's usually,
you're talking about these guys killing it.
Yeah.
You might as well.
I usually like wake up kind of still buzzed because our men's club's at like 8. And I start with like a vodka, a transfusion. So good. Vodka, ginger ale, grape juice. It's nice.
Sounds pretty good.
Because, first thing in the morning, a beer never sounds good.
No.
It's rare that thing sounds good. So we start with that. And then Sunridge has the pint cans. So a little bigger than like 12 ounce. Probably dust like 4 of those on 9. Fireball at the turn. Probably another 4 to 6, depending on the buzz. Fireball on 13. Come in, dust 3 more pints, talking to everyone. Maybe another shot of Fireball. And then I come home and sit on my couch and dust until I black out.
Yeah.
Like, that's real. I'm not doing it.
After your Uber dropped you off.
No, we always have a driver.
Oh, okay.
Bubs usually keeps it on 2 wheels pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, trust me. I've done it and I'm not proud of it, but if I'm that messed up, like if I know I'm going to have a day, I ride with someone and my mom's even offered. She's like, if you're too fucked up, I'll come in and say, dude. Because usually I do know I got to drive, so I keep it on 2 wheels. But I'm just saying, like, if I was to do like a stream, I'll show them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to prove that I'm actually drinking them, but I would never lie about it.
Well, stream is live.
Yeah, true. Well, I meant like a Instagram page, not a stream.
Okay.
Because that'd be a long live, dude. That'd be a 6-hour live. Like, no one wants to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just golfing, not counting 4 hours on my couch.
Yeah.
So, like the other day, coming home, I dusted 8 beers on the drive home. Got to my house, and then me and Foster started chatting, and I woke up in the morning, and there's 15 cans laying next to me. So that's 23 beers.
Yeah.
But that's also coming off of, like, we started on Friday.
Yeah.
So if I was just to do that right now, after like 3 days, dude, probably 8 beers, I'd be hammered.
Mm-hmm.
It always happens. But if I go till Monday, you can come over and film me, dude. I'll be wasted.
Yeah.
I always save my beer cans for one, so everyone knows I drank them, unlike the freaking Instagrammers. And for 2, I always want to know what I did. So I come out in the morning and I have them all. Dude, for being drunk though, I line them up like perfect.
Yeah.
Like I have a nice liner, like a little 2-banger.
Dude, you should recycle. Well, not recycle, but like you should take it to get the money back.
Dude, I tried that once, but we filled up a 55-gallon bag. Not in one day, obviously. It took like 4 or 5 days. And dude, it stunk so bad in my garage. Just moldy beer. And like it leaks through the bag. And what are you doing?
Because I wanted to see if this one said how much you get.
I think it's like 5 cents in Maine.
Yeah, like, dude, not only are you drinking, but you're getting paid to drink.
Yeah, but we don't get paid in Nevada. I'd have to drive to California.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, the gas money it cost me to get there, I'd freaking wouldn't even make back.
Gecko trip, dude. You got to plan it out like that.
No, I know. Yeah, I probably could have made some money in my day, but
yeah, see,
yeah,
dude, I'm trying to be your manager.
I know, dude, I get it.
Yeah. Let's get into some worth watching.
Okay.
And we already spoke about it, but Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul this weekend.
I got Nate.
They're at the American Airline Arena in Dallas. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time. So 5 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, it should be a good fight.
Yeah.
There's some good... the girl that he usually has fighting under him...
Amanda
Serrano, she's pretty badass.
She's cute.
Is she?
Scary. She's on the documentary.
I don't know. She's cute.
I don't know. I just saw her punch and turned me on.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
For a boxer
Freaking
chick.
use my nutsack as a speed bag, dude.
Dude, that was talk about blue balls on that one.
Yeah, that hurt.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you never know because how they play it out. But I like Nate.
Yeah,
I'm not huge in that stuff. He's always been like, he's from Stockton, dude. You know, he's ghetto and
Yeah.
freaking scrappy. So,
well, I think if it's really not rigged and it's like a real legit fight, I think maybe Nate has it. I think because I watched workouts like yesterday, dude. Jake Paul's a big boy.
he is,
Dude, and
Yeah.
he's like looking even better now.
yeah,
But with that being said, he's super muscular. So, you know, obviously the more muscle you have, the more oxygen you need,
Yeah.
the more in your blood and everything. So you kind of use up energy and all that faster. And Nate's just kind of like this guy, and he doesn't have to cut weight
Yeah.
for the first time in his career.
and
So-
like you said, dude, Nate has the orangutan arms.
Yeah.
Like those things are like down his knees, so he can do a swipe.
yeah, so he's coming out fresh, not losing any weight, depleted himself, good cardio already, and then maybe he hits a little harder because he's fighting at a heavier.
Are they
weight.
doing just straight boxing?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
so straight boxing, and then Jake, he's coming out looking ripped and everything, but if he goes past 3 rounds, I think he's gonna be gassed
Yeah.
out, and that's kind of when Nate gets even better.
yeah,
So
yeah. I've seen Nate where like both his eyes are swollen shut and he's bleeding everywhere, and he'll still win the fight in like the 5th round.
yeah, he gets
Like,
better.
Yeah, I'm like,
towards
how'd
the
you
end.
do that? You can't
Yeah.
even see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that'll be a good one.
Yeah, it should be an
Pay-per-view?
interesting one. Yeah, it's pay-per-view. It's the DAZN and ESPN Plus, so pay-per-view still. But so I don't really know how that works, but I'm sure someone out there in the internet will put the link out there for you guys. So if you guys don't want to
Let me
pay,
guess, you're gonna pirate it.
hey, I'm not pirating it. Someone sends me the link, I'm not gonna.
I'll look at it.
not click it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So that's going on this weekend. Should be a good one.
yeah,
We'll see what happens.
that's about all that's going on this weekend, huh?
Yeah,
Because I don't think there's moto, right? Don't they have another week
2
off?
weeks off. Yeah.
And then I don't know what golf is. Golf's kind of into that like end of the year before the playoffs, so that's not super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, moto getting interesting in the 250 class.
Yeah, it is.
450,
I'm surprised it's not clinched yet.
Which one?
450.
How's it not clinched?
I don't know. Is it? Is there like 3 rounds left?
Yeah,
It's got to be clinched, right?
dude, he's won every single.
I know. No
moto
one else
there
has gotten
is.
second, everyone. So
Yeah.
shows how much I pay attention.
What's gnarly is like if Tomac was, because Tomac is the only one missing. I don't think Tomac has anything for him.
No.
I think
Well,
it might
and-
be different in Supercross. I think Chase is probably better in
Yeah.
Supercross, but dude,
That's what, like, because I said the same thing. I'm like, man, at least if Eli was back, it'd be a series. But like Bubs was saying, like Chase waxed Tomac a handful of times last year.
yeah,
And freaking, but dude, Chase like has that, he had mono a little bit, and, so
concussion.
I don't think he's like in his pure form. And plus,
Yeah.
when you come back and you kind of know you're down, like, he's not going to win the title, even if he was damn near, even if he won out, so it's probably kind of hard to like dig deep.
What if the team was like, hey, just let him win?
Probably.
You're gonna get second anyways.
Doubt it though, because that's probably like $1 million bonus.
To win one race?
If you win clean sweep.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it's like, why would Honda want to do that? They can't be forking out $1 million
Oh,
to
the
Jet.
Honda. Oh,
Yeah, because
yes.
I'm almost pretty sure or positive when I was at Rick's house back in the day, Carmichael, he had his check framed and it was $1 million for the perfect season.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So Honda's like, dude, fucking tell the mechanic to let the air out of the tire on the starting line.
Well, dude, do him like a Hunter and blow up his engine.
Yeah. Maybe they did. Nah, that's Southwick, dude. That track eats motors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope Deegan does it. I think that'd be cool.
Wins the champion?
Mm-hmm.
I
Nice.
kind of know.
Really? Why?
I want to see Hunter win it.
Why?
Because, dude, Hunter just doesn't look like a racer.
Yeah.
He's just like a normal looking dude. He's not ripped whatsoever. Like his brother's just ripped.
Mm-hmm.
His brother got all the good genes.
Yeah.
Let's face it,
They both got hair, so that's good genes in my book.
I mean, we don't really know because we don't really see Hunter like that too much. But I don't know. I'd like to see him win it. And then, because you also got to figure, you're going to win it and then move up and just get worked by your brother every time.
Mm.
And you're never going to win anything ever again. So might as well just let him win it this time.
Okay, I'll say I can go either way.
You know what
How's
I mean?
that sound?
And then Hayden, once Hunter moves up, who's really going to battle with Hayden too much?
Yeah, I don't know.
Cooper, comes back healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe Austin Faulkner, if he ever like gets it together, there might be situations there. But like I think Hayden's going to be dominating that.
He's
class
around
pretty
for a
well.
long time.
Yeah.
And then by the time he gets to 450s, dude, it's like everyone's going to kind of be out of their prime, like Jet. Because I mean, if you think 3 years from now or whatever,
I don't know. Jet might still.
I mean, he'll still be the guy, but Hayden's got like 5-6 years on him.
Yeah.
So at some point, Hayden will probably be the 450 guy.
Yeah.
I don't really, unless someone comes out of the blue here in the next year or two, but
Yeah.
I don't really see that happening. So
yeah. So it should be interesting. But yeah, I'm going for both the Lawrence brothers on this one, and we'll see what happens. Quick thing. So you said you didn't watch X Games at all?
Mm-mm.
I watched a little bit. The clips are on YouTube, so you can just go and watch them. But it was interesting. It was interesting to see Kobe Raha won the Big Air quarter pipe thing versus Corey Creed. Yeah. I think Dirk Shark put out a video or a clip where he put like both of them next to each other because Dirk Shark's brother is Axel. Yeah. So Axel's Kobe's nemesis or whatever. Yeah. So he put it out there basically implying that they gave it to him because Corey Creed went higher. Yeah. So I don't know if you saw that post or anything like that. I didn't
see that post. I just saw pictures and they were pretty damn high either way you look at it.
So, but I mean, it's like maybe Raha's knobbies on his tires were a little bit longer than Corey's because they were like right there. So that was kind of I don't know who won that one, but we'll leave it at that. And then also you go into best whip and Berryman won it, beat Tom Parsons. But then if you go back and look at Parsons' whip.
Dude, see, I've had an issue with whip, not to make this podcast super long, but like when I used to call it live, right? When I was doing the broadcast stuff, it happens so fast, dude, that I feel for the judges in best whip because it's like a train, like a free for all, So it's like one dude whips and the judges are like, oh, that was a sick whip, put a score down. And as they're looking up, the next guy's already.
Well, no, this one was
it one at a time?
Yeah, one at a time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I always had a problem like calling it. Yeah. I'd be talking about like, how upside down Berryman was and like Wanky was already off the ramp as I'm like, dude, this is hard. Yeah. So I can't imagine judging it, so.
No, they went one by one this time.
Oh, cool.
They each had their own, time to go. Yeah. But I don't know. I think Tom kind of got that one. I think he got robbed and they kind of gave it to Berryman. And, just with that being said, you kind of give it to Raha, which is the name of the sport there. And then you kind of give it to Berryman, which is another name of the sport. Yeah. If Axel was there, Axel's kind of the bigger name. So maybe they would have gave it to Axel. It's kind of stuff like that. Like it's kind of hard to like ignore that maybe these guys probably shouldn't have gotten it. But whatever. That's just my own opinion. And like I said, I only watched it on YouTube just the one time. So if I watched it a couple of times, maybe I could be like, all right, Berryman did go bigger or whatever. I don't know.
I just saw like on Instagram and all of them went massive, like those whips were. I do like whip. I do like quarter pipe. Like those are two gnarly events. Like I can barely watch what was it? Just best trick this year?
Best trick. Yeah.
Dude, they're still gnarly, but it's like, dude, it's so like dead air. You know what I mean? Like,
did you see Ronaldo? Yeah. Especially when it's like 3 guys all do front flips.
Yeah.
You kind of know that's going to happen. And then, Sheehan does.
Yeah, my boy Sheeny going to an electric bike.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
He does the double flip. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to see Ronaldo do the Chuck Carruthers jump varial. But yeah.
It happened in 2004. Now we're just recycling. Dude, like that's what I was talking with everyone is like, it's just hard. No disrespect to those guys. It's just hard. We're on a huge motorcycle. There's not a lot we can do. Right? Like BMX, like skate, you can go switch and do the same tricks or, fakie or whatever. Like motorcycles, that's all we've got, So that's why I think I've taken a liking more to like whip and quarter pipe because it's stylish to watch. Quarter pipe's gnarly.
Yeah.
Like if you've never seen that thing in real life, like that landing is like vert.
Yeah. I've never seen it in real life, but I could tell you it's pretty gnarly.
Dude, it makes you sweat. Like, and those dudes are 40 feet above the deck, not even counting that the landing's 20, 30 feet tall. That stuff's gnarly. So for them, even if Creed didn't win, dude, he had some sick style. Like he was like doing like a whip. Like he could have done
straight up.
He could have done best whip on the quarter pipe. Yeah. And damn near won it, I bet. Because like there's a picture of him like his head's all the way pointing down. Yeah.
So with that being said though, too, kind of like what I predicted, but Axel didn't show up and ride.
Yeah.
that event or none of the other events. But, they said, he's dealing with the loss of his friend, Pat Casey, which I believe died doing quarter pipe. So it's gnarly.
Yeah. It's super gnarly. It's a scary event. And
yeah, that one I could be like, it's cool to have it and it's cool to watch, but I could probably go, if they gave me a vote, I'd be like, nah, I'd rather not see that because dude, it's pretty gnarly. Someone's going to get hurt.
What scares me is if, Creed and Raha are pushing themselves so much, they both want to beat each other. Mm-hmm. It's if one of those dudes, because you've seen it in Mega Ramp on skate and BMX, if one of those dudes ends up going too far out and hits that deck, mm-hmm. dude, it's not going to end well. No. You know what I mean? Because that, like I said, that thing's vert at the top and 20, 30 feet tall. Mm-hmm. So it's they're going to hit that and it's going to just grenade them. So yeah, I'm glad everyone makes it out of that one safe. The first year I ever called it for X Games, Jared McNeil did it just fine. But he landed a little low. And when he landed low, it pulled his front wheel down and pulled his hand off and he mm-hmm. dislocated his hip. So it's he didn't even deck it. That's just over jumping down to the bottom a little bit. So glad they all made it out safe. I miss Step Up, dude. Yeah. Because, I think the fans like that kind of stuff too, where it's more of a clear cut winner, right? Like you said, with whip and quarter pipe, you could go kind of either way. Yeah. You don't know, but Step Up was a gnarly event. I think no one really wants to do it no more. It's probably McNeil would do it.
I'll tell you what I miss, not just because you're my friend or anything, but speed and style.
Man, that was a fun one.
Because you get the racing aspect and then you also get the tricks. Yeah. So it's it's easy to see who was clearly the faster rider and then also maybe who had the better tricks. Right. And then that's when the judges come in and the point system comes in. So there is a clear winner. Yeah. So, but that event was also a pretty fun one because it's head to head. Yeah.
Dude, and that one was, and I'm not even just saying this because I won the damn thing, but that one was fun because it kind of revived my racing career for a bit. Mm-hmm. Getting the nerves on it, a starting gate, not just sitting there waiting for a dude in the headset to point you, mm-hmm. You're on the line, you want to beat the dude next to you. The gate drops and it's a full out sprint, but then you come out of a turn, all of a sudden there's a ramp and you got to slow down and hit the ramp just right. I think in Barcelona we had pretty long run in. Mm-hmm. And it was just a circle track, but it would be so intense down the straightaway. And then you would turn and want to pull time on the dude, but then you're whoa. I got to slow down and make sure I don't OJ by 30 feet, So that was a fun one. It was really fun. They made the track so shitty at the end that Austin was, the last year of Austin was terrible, but man, that was a fun event. We had the glory days, dude. Yeah. And what you just said, dude, I think it's cool to see X Games be out in the public mm-hmm. and have a crowd again. But at the same time, it's sad to see some of those events kind of leave. Right. And even if you're looking at BMX, they add some events, you're that's not necessary. Yeah. Whatever it may be, skateboard too. So it's going in a different progression, but I'm sure there's fans out there that love that stuff. Yeah. So that's why they're doing it. Yeah, there's just a newer generation, newer crowd, that's what they've grown up on. Mm-hmm. I grew up on the other way of gnarly courses and this and that. And that's fine. It's not a he said this is right or he said this is right. It's just where we're at now, you know. But and I did not watch it because I'm being spiteful or something. I just didn't want, I was gone, Yeah. I was traveling and drinking a bunch, and all of a sudden I look, I'm oh shit, Berryman won, sick.
Well, dude, I didn't watch it. I go on ESPN Plus because I have that, and then it's oh, choose your provider. I'm dude, ESPN Plus is my provider. What the fuck's going on here? So I just went back and watched it after the event happened. So that's the thing too. My thing was, if I wasn't going to the event with you guys, mm-hmm. I could be at home, and it's on ESPN 7 p.m. It's going to be best trick or freestyle and I got the nerves just sitting on the couch watching you guys and everything, and that feeling's not there no more.
No, I know. And maybe
and that started with COVID.
Yeah it did. It kind of knocked everything on its ass, but we're also just getting older. Yeah. And what you're like you said, quarter pipe and whip are fun to watch, but best trick, you kind of know what's coming, you know what I mean? But not to take nothing away from those dudes, props, they all went out there, did it, got some medals. I think everyone made it out safe, right? Yeah. Everyone really yard sailed or nothing. So
yeah, I think everyone was kept it on two wheels. So congratulations to everyone.
Congrats, boys.
And we'll see what happens next year with X Games.
Should we go stand up for a bit? Yeah. My butt's sweaty. Okay.
Sign us out of here.
You do the outro.
Outro?
Yeah, you do it.
Well, thank you guys for hanging with the boys. My name's Jorge. This is Mike. Make sure you check out our podcast. If you're listening to this, you already check it out. So thank you so much.
Spread the word. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your sister.
JAA7
JAA7
Tell him or her to tell people.
Yeah. tell your baby mamas,
Uh-huh.
your side pieces.
That would help.
Yeah, especially the side piece. Let them know that we're here. And, you know,
Yeah. After I just said my butt's sweaty, they'll be like, oh, cool.
they can listen to us. But yeah, check us out. YouTube, Spotify video, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Leave us a rating, a comment, everything. And hopefully we don't take another break. And
Should be
hopefully
good.
we'll bring you more content. I want to do a day in the life of us.
Yeah.
And put it on our YouTube page. So make sure you hit the link for our YouTube.
I see it.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace.